Welcome back. This is lesson 4 of note reading on the piano. And I hope that you've enjoyed the first 3 videos in the series. In this one, it is my goal to complete out all the notes that you will need to know where they are on the keyboard. Now, as you remember, all the way back to lesson 1, we started with the C. And I think it's an important point to mention that once again, of course, we have the 2 blacks, and at the bottom of that is the C. The reason I started back on C was because when you do learn to play piano, the right hand typically starts right in this area of middle C, and the left thumb shares that middle C because the right hand tends to play in this region and the left hand tends to play in this region. For pianists, this is why we often start with what we call the middle C. Now, going back for quick review, you remember the bottom of the 2 blacks is always a C. The bottom of the 3 blacks is always an F, regardless of where they are on the keyboard. Again, we have the 2 blacks, C, 3 blacks, F, and so forth. Then, in the next lesson, we learned where the E and the B are. So, for example, we have 2 blacks. At the top, we have the E. Again, 2 blacks. Top, we have the E. 3 blacks. Top, we have the B. 3 blacks. Top, we have the B. Then in lesson 3, I was showing you how to fill some of those in. So, for example, starting here at middle C, we go C, D, E. There's the D, the middle, right down the middle of any of the 2 blacks, and of course the separator between the C and the E. And then by extension we learned C, D, E, F, and then of course G at the very top. Another way to think of the G is taking the 3 blacks and kind of scrunching in this note right here. Now, so far, look what we've learned. We have C, D, E, F, G, and then up here we have the top of the 3 blacks, B, and then of course it returns to C. Since we know there are only 7 notes on the keyboard, the only one left is A. And that's the one I saved for last because it can actually be one of the more difficult ones. Now, ironically enough, the A is the very first note down here on the keyboard, but now you can see A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And then, being that G is the end of our musical alphabet, it starts over. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and so forth all the way up. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and now watch this. A, B, and back to middle C. There we are. The A, another way to think of that A is, again, to think of these 3 blacks, and it scrunches more up towards the higher end. But not at the top, because remember at the top was the B. So here we have the 3 blacks. There's our A. 3 blacks are A. 3 blacks are A. Now, I want to do a part 2 in this lesson, and that is to teach you what the black notes are. They are very, very easy. Once you've learned the white notes, the black notes are very, very easy. We call them sharps or flats. Now, early on I was saying that this direction is up on the keyboard, this direction is down. Take middle C, for example. If we go up to the black note right above it, which is, by the way, on the piano called a half step, it is what we call a C sharp. Sharps always go a half step up from wherever we are. Let's take F, for example. Let's go up a half step. F sharp. Okay, let's take G. Let's go up a half step. G sharp. Let's take A. Let's go up a half step. A sharp. And finally, let's take, say, D, go up a half step, D sharp. There they are. So whenever you're going this direction, they are labeled sharps. Now, if we're going this direction, downwards, they are labeled flats. For example, let's take a B. We go down a half step. It's called a B flat. Let's take an A. We go down a half step, an A flat. Another, G, G flat. Let's go down here. An E, let's go down a half step. E flat. A D, down a half step. D flat. So it all depends on direction. Now you might wonder, why does that make a difference? Well, when composers write music, if they are writing in an upward fashion, they will put a sharp. Later on I will show you that symbol. If they are writing in a downward fashion, they write a flat. So again, all we had to learn was the 7 notes. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and anywhere on the keyboard that we play those, they all have a sharp or a flat depending on the direction that we go. Thank you so much, and I hope this has been helpful to you.